Excellent question, interesting question. Certainly in our world, we've seen a steady uptick over the course of this year. And when I really dig into it, I'm talking an uptick in the number of hours sold, and that obviously translates into the parts departments having fairly good months as well, month after month. And there's really two things driving it. The first is the obvious one, is with the slowdown in new vehicle sales, you have a fleet that's aging. So an aging fleet generally requires a little bit more maintenance down the road. And as long as your pricing is still reasonable, yes, we've got some challenges in the industry around alternatives available, but we're still attracting a lot of those buyers back into the OEM franchises. The second one is a more interesting one. It really depends on what franchise and brand that you're actually involved with. But with the South African Police Service coming back into the franchise network, as opposed to fixing their own vehicles through the police garages, we've got significant work in the rural areas in the commercial vehicle space that the police drive. And to the extent where we've got vehicles waiting 2-3 months at this stage to get authorizations and to get worked on, but the car parks are full of vehicles waiting for work, which is a great position to be in, waiting for work rather than actually looking for work. So really, just to sum it up, a couple of good months in the after sales arena and still a lot of work waiting to be done thanks to those two factors.
Yeah, we echo the same. Our part sales grew a little bit more than the workshop, which tells me it's more panel that also achieved. And now, obviously, it was our winter season now in Cape Town, so there is a little bit more action on the roads as well. So parts have increased year on year, and it was steady growth. It's not something that's just overnight. So the last 2 years we have steady growth, and I think that's due also to an aging car park in certain brands. And we managed, I think, when the right to repair came in, a lot of us thought there might be a huge impact on the workshop. We didn't find that. I think customers are still coming back to our workshop, and they still believe that the franchise network have the knowledge to fix the car best and maintain that the best, and to keep the used price vehicles high. So our workshop have increased steadily year on year, and part sales as well.
Yeah, definitely. After sales is doing very well across the group. We found that the more premium brands are struggling a little bit, but the rest of the brands, from medium to the fast movers and the volume, they're flying, service and parts. One thing we have done to try and help it, and this is now for almost 2.5 years now, is we have dedicated staff selling service and maintenance plans. They phone every single customer that comes in. Every single person gets a phone call. Would you like to buy a car? And if not, would you like to buy a plan? And I've seen one of our ladies at one of the brands do it. She has 2 screens, and the one is the quote as per the manufacturer's structure, and the other one is what would it cost to buy a 1-year plan that would cover that service. And 9 times out of 10, the plan is cheaper. So you tell a customer, would you like to spend $5,000 or $3,500, and the plan actually covers you for 12 months. And we've got targets per month, and doing this year on year, or month on month, and obviously for now 2.5 years, it's had a massive effect on our service and parts business. And specifically what we're doing now is we're enforcing it that every single one of our service departments and dealerships has to do it, and they get measured on it. And that's one way of keeping people in the brand and in our workshops. And we push it hard, and it works, and we've seen the benefit.
Yeah, I think the same. I mean, I think, when we look at it now, so after sales is solid, a bit of a lagging indicator. I mean, obviously new car volume has been down. I think if anything, if we have to look at it, probably a bit of our internal work's down, but I mean, that's based on sales. So a little bit of internal down. I think if we don't see good recovery in the new car volumes and even sort of used cars, we do 125-point checks through our used cars. I think we'll see it in time. You'll have people that are falling out of plans, and that will leave the brands and go to the sort of the smaller or the cheaper guys. And obviously we have sort of plans in place there for retention to keep them in there. But after sales has been solid. I think, used cars has been solid. And when you have a good after sales and a good used cars, I mean, you can generally navigate through sort of tough new car times. But our new car volumes need to pick up. I think otherwise we're going to see it. We're going to feel it in our workshops in sort of a year or 2, maybe even 3 years' time.
It's been positive. And I think this whole thing of customers trying to keep their vehicles, they need to maintain them. They want to go to the right shops. And that's what I've noticed. Secondly, I agree with Martin. There's been an uptake even with our maintenance plan extension, even on our pre-owned vehicles that we sell, whereby we have to quote. I'm talking about, I think last month we probably did about 6 maintenance plan extension from different brands for our cars, because customers want that cover. That means that those cars are going to go back to those franchise dealers, which is excellent. That's what we need. So there's been an uptake, and also on the workshop side of things, the volume is starting to tick. I think people are getting more education to say, don't just take your car anywhere else. Make sure that you take it to the right place. Don't take it to some shop in the middle of Braamfontein. You're going to get hurt. And I think people are starting to get the message, and they're starting to learn the lesson.